Patrick probably grew up on the northwest coast of Britain in an area known as Freged. He was from a Christian family of noble birth, but was a wild youth. At 16, he was kidnapped by pirate raiders from Ireland and taken back and sold there as a slave. Patrick, although he was not a Christian himself at this point, later recalls that his kidnapping was because he departed from God and kept not his precepts, and was not obedient to the priests who admonished us for our salvation. His work as a slave was to care for animals on the Irish hills. There he found his own relationship with God, which grew deep indeed and included many mystical encounters with the divine. He became a man of deep prayer, praying, so he said, over 100 prayers during the day, and a similar number at night. Patrick was a man of dreams and visions and ecstatic spiritual experiences. And in one of these he saw a boat which would allow him freedom from his slavery. So, when opportunity arose, he escaped and traveled the coast of Ireland for over 200 miles until he found the boat that he had seen in his vision. At first, he was not allowed on board, but eventually he got passage. During the trip, which was probably to northern France, a great storm came upon the ship. All on board feared they would drown until Patrick spoke of Christ who could calm the waves. After telling the story from the Bible, Patrick stood on the deck of the boat and prayed. The storm and the great waves settled down, and the sea became calm. Eventually, Patrick found his way back to northwest Britain, to his family home, where he was implored never to leave again. But soon after this, in another vision, he saw a man come to him with a letter. It was the voice of the Irish people, pleading for him to come back to tell them about Christ. This he did, and the result was perhaps one of the most famous Christian missions in British and Irish ecclesiastical history. Stories abound about Patrick's time in Ireland, from the famous Easter fire at Tara Hill to the appearance of a group of deer that allowed Patrick and a few disciples to escape some pursuing soldiers, to the driving out of all the snakes from the land of Ireland. This last story may refer to Patrick's confrontations with the Druids, who often used the sign of a snake. Rather than being literal snakes, it may be related to the rise of Christianity and the decline of the Druidic religion across Ireland, throughout and following Patrick's life and mission. Spend a few moments simply resting. Breathe gently and slowly. Become aware of the constant presence of God which envelops you and permeates you. Patrick had visions and ecstatic mystical experiences of the divine. What are your experiences of the mystical and ecstatic side of your relationship with God? How might you be able to encounter God in this way more? Patrick spent a great deal of time in prayer and dwelling in the divine presence, thus creating the inner environment to encounter God. How might you improve your dwelling time with God? Spend time with God now, dwelling upon these questions. May you spend time dwelling with God, creating the inner environment to experience the divine. May you be open to the movement of God's Spirit within you, drawing you into the mystical and ecstatic. May you not boast of these experiences, but use them to help others grow closer to God.